Although success usually has 1,000 fathers, Iran's missile program is said to have just one, Hassan Tehrani Moqaddam. Tehrani Moqaddam laid the foundation for Iran's domestic missile production by reverse engineering missiles during the imposed Iraq War on Iran, and today most of the developments in this field are still linked to him. Tehrani Moqaddam prioritized precision, destructive power, range, health of missiles up until impact, radar evasion, and concealment until launching as vectors for developing Iranian missile power. Until his death on November 12, 2011, from a reported accident on a missile base, Tehrani Moqaddam was working towards his dream of a ballistic projectile that would deter the enemies of the country. For decades, the United States and Zionist regime have sought to constrain Iran's missile program, but despite their efforts to impede Iranian procurement of missile-related materials, equipment and technology, assassination of Iranian scientists, a multitude of illegal sanctions, Iran has managed to acquire the largest and most diverse missile force in the West Asia region. Consistently, Iran unveiled what has been described as its first ever domestically made hypersonic ballistic missile, Fatah, on June 6th. The missile is said to be capable of traveling at hypersonic speeds of up to 13 times the speed of sound and can reportedly penetrate the most advanced missile defense systems. Although the Islamic Republic has one of the most advanced missile defense programs currently in existence, it maintains that it will further develop its capabilities. For a closer look at Iran's defense strategy and goals, and the structure and capability of the military that supports those goals, as well as the enabling infrastructure and industrial base, please join us on this edition of Iran Today. The new addition to Iran missile program is called Fatah, apparently named after one of the names of God in Islam, meaning victory giver. The unveiling of Islamic Republic's latest domestically made hypersonic missile sends a strong message to Iran's adversaries and serves as a reminder of the nation's commitment to its defense capabilities. This is indeed a historic achievement for the country's military. It highlights Iran's determination to safeguard its sovereignty and protect its national interests in the face of perceived threats.
Iran was dependent on foreign countries not only in the field of weapons, but also in the most basic military necessities, such as the supply of barbed wire. Therefore, when the need was felt inside, a special investment was made in this area, and related manpower was trained, who had a revolutionary spirit, and this manpower became the driving engine of the missile power of the Islamic Republic of Iran. During the year of Iraq-Iran war, practical experience was added to this young revolutionary force, and finally, the first steps were taken to produce rockets and missiles. My main point is that the use and benefit of the national spirit, along with the capacities created in Iranian universities and scientists, made Iran take great steps in the defense industry.
This revolutionary missile has the potential to reshape the balance of power in the region and beyond. However, some experts have interjected the notion that this development is not necessarily a major revolution in Tehran's missile capabilities, adding that it's not the first hypersonic missile Iran has designed, even though it is a revolutionary design. Experts say that most ballistic missiles can travel at hypersonic speeds. They say what distinguishes Iran's new missile from other projectiles it has designed is that it is maneuverable. It has a movable nozzle that allows it to travel an irregular path, making it difficult to intercept. Mr. Zarei is a familiar face who always provides in-depth analyses regarding strategic issues. Let's see what he has to share about Iran's missile power.
Now everyone is talking about Fattah's hypersonic missile, but this is not the only achievement of the Islamic Republic of Iran. For example, in the field of submarines, Iran owns a torpedo, which, due to the special technology created in its construction, has the same range under the sea as a missile on land, and we can attack our targets with 4 times the speed of a torpedo. By the way, these missiles are also smart. Now, this sea can be anywhere. It doesn't matter. In fact, that's why today Iranian flotilla and the ships of the Iranian Navy roam the oceans without worry and pass through sensitive international straits such as Bab al-Mandab or the Caribbean and sail close to the enemy's borders. What is the reason and where does this courage come from? Because the Islamic Republic of Iran has the ability to fire missiles at a depth of 100 meters in the sea, which will push any enemy back. In the field of military power, in some areas we rank first in the world, in some others we rank fourth.
Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Aerospace Force Commander Brigadier General Amir Ali Hajizadeh said in comments published by the local media that Fattah can move within and above the Earth's atmosphere and in doing so has a range of 870 miles. If Iranian officials' claims about the new Fattah missile are true, then it will certainly have more maneuverability compared to previous systems, said a technology specialist. He added that Iran's claims about the Fattah are mostly credible as the missile is largely an iteration on earlier proven technology that Iran has developed domestically. Mr. Bakhtiari is an analyst of military issues. He was kind enough to accept us in his office for a political conversation.
One of the areas about this hypersonic missile which has been an issue of concern for the enemy is that it has the ability to pass through anti-missile systems, especially the systems of the Zionist regime. You must know that basically when it comes to missiles and rockets, what matters the most is that the missile should be able to hit the target exactly. A hypersonic missile can easily pass through the enemy's anti-missile shields due to its speed and maneuverability. Iran's military commanders have announced that it will take at least 10 years for the enemy to build a system that can counter this missile. In fact, this missile has created a 10-year guarantee for Iran's deterrence power.
That said, the unveiling of the Fattah missile has sparked significant attention and concern within the international community. Despite the opposition and concerns expressed by certain nations in the West, Iran has reiterated its determination to advance its missile program. The successful development of the Fattah missile marks a pivotal milestone, serving as a stepping stone for further advancements in ballistic missile technology. Iran's relentless pursuit of military self-sufficiency showcases its ambition to assert itself as a regional power. As Iran continues to invest in research and development, the world is forced to closely monitor its progress and assess the subsequent implications for regional and global security. In the past, Iran has insisted that its missile program is solely for defensive purposes. However, this week some local media have suggested that the purpose of the Fattah missile is to show its deterrence in economic and political areas. Under heavy illegal American sanctions, Iran regularly blames the United States for waging an economic war on its people. Iran's military strategy is primarily based on deterrence and the ability to retaliate against an attacker. Iran also uses unconventional warfare operations and a network of allies to enable Tehran to advance its interests in the region, as well as to attain strategic depth.
The question here is how Iran creates deterrence for itself. Some countries have atomic bombs and use them as the most significant aspect of their deterrent power. But when we come to the Islamic Republic of Iran, considering that the leader Ayatollah Khamenei has issued a fatwa that the manufacture and use of atomic bombs and weapons of mass destruction are forbidden and haram, the power of deterrence is provided by other means. Today, for example, some of our missiles have a range of 2,000 kilometers and their range can be increased easily. For example, when you have built a satellite rocket, naturally building an intercontinental ballistic missile should not be a problem for you. But the reason we choose a range of 2,000 kilometers for our missiles was actually to make sure that our missiles can easily reach our main enemy, which is the Zionist regime in the region, and the American military bases around us. Therefore, we do not need to increase the range of our missiles for now. The Islamic Republic of Iran does not limit itself in the field of strengthening military power.
However, Iran's ballistic missile constitute a primary component of its strategic deterrent. Having been under a regime of sanctions that has impacted its air force modernization, Iran has embraced ballistic missiles as a long-range strike capability to dissuade its adversaries from attacking the country. Iran also has the largest missile force in West Asia, with substantial inventory of close-range ballistic missiles, short-range ballistic missiles, and medium-range ballistic missiles that can strike targets throughout the region as far as 2,000 kilometers away. In addition, Iran will deploy an increasing number of more accurate and lethal theater ballistic missiles in the foreseeable future, improve its existing missile inventory, and also field new land attack cruise missiles.
One part of any country's power pertains to its defense capabilities, and another part is the power of diplomacy and negotiation, which is mostly focused on the logic and ability to defend national interests in international issues. But it should be noted that the elements of power complement each other, and these elements are never supposed to be in conflict with each other. In particular, attention should be paid to the approach of the Islamic Republic of Iran in introducing its own defense capabilities. We consider the Fatah missile to be part of the elements of Iran's power and authority. Of course, we consider the capacity of diplomacy as the first priority in stabilizing Iran's power and position in the world arena. The fact is that in today's world, Iran's defense capability can always serve its friends and at the same time intimidates its enemies.
According to the Chief of Staff of the Iranian Armed Forces, Major General Mohammad Hossein Bagheri, the safety and security of the Iranian airspace is a symbol of deterrent power in the global arena. The sophisticated defense network of the country has managed to protect the security of the Iranian sky and has been fully prepared to respond to any threats, which is the manifestation of the deterrent power of the Islamic Republic of Iran in the international arena.
In the past 200 years and more, Iran has been a country that's had no history of aggression and attack on another country. We have never initiated any war, but on the contrary, Iran has been attacked by other countries several times. Due to this experience, the deterrence approach has always been the main part of the country's defense doctrine. Therefore, by showing our authority and strengthening our military power, we are trying to make Iran's enemies never think of a military attack. Therefore, deterrence is the main goal of Iran's military development.
Consistently, Iran has reached 100% self-sufficiency in the field of manufacturing unmanned aerial vehicles and is among the top powers in the region in the field of manufacturing advanced UAVs, and this ability is rapidly increasing.
To realize this goal, that is the defense doctrine of the Islamic Republic of Iran, we need two important arms. One is the missile industry, the other is the drone industry. Of course, Iran's missile power is better known worldwide. The foundations of both of these industries were laid during the years of the Iran-Iraq War. For example, during the war, we had a very simple use of the unmanned aircrafts or drones, but today we have plenty of them, such as Arash, Hamaseh, Kaman, Mehraj, Shahed, and others. We have many zealous scientists who love their country and never get tired.
Iran's achievements in designing and producing advanced systems and equipment pertaining to the missile, radar, marine, optic, armor, and drone have made its deterrence power outstanding, according to experts. There's plenty more right after a quick diversion into world media. Welcome to the news section of the program, where I will go over news excerpts from 3 news websites, starting with The Cradle. U.S. imposes new sanctions on Iran targeting ballistic missile program. The United States has imposed sanctions on multiple people and entities in China, Hong Kong, and Iran for their alleged role in obtaining parts and technology for Iran's ballistic missile program. Commander of Aerospace Force of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Brigadier General Amir Ali Hajizadeh, noted that Iran's new Fatah hypersonic missile will mark the launch of a new generation of missiles in Iran. The U.S. Treasury accused Iran's defense attaché in Beijing, Davoud Damghani, of coordinating military-related procurements from China. Washington imposed sanctions on Iranian firm Parchin Chemical Industry and its intermediary PB Sadr. The sanctions also target China-based firms. In addition to helping Iran procure military-related technology and equipment, China has been a major buyer of Iranian oil despite U.S. sanctions. Caspian News says, Iran ready to share experiences in fighter jet technology, Air Force Commander. Iranian Army's Air Force Commander Hamid Vahedi has said that his country is ready to share its experiences in the sphere of fighter aircraft. Vahedi said, "Here we announce to our friendly countries in the region that we are ready to accept UAV operator students and provide training in both piloting and technical aspects." In April 2022, Iran unveiled its Kaman 22 drone, which is able to reach Israel. The Kaman 2022 is a long-range and strategic multifunctional combat drone with an operational range of over 3,000 kilometers, capable of flying at an altitude of 8,000 meters for more than 24 hours. The wide-body UAV is capable of carrying several types of cargo up to 300 kilograms, as well as 4 guided missiles, 2 unguided bombs, and other munitions. It can be used for a range of missions, including patrol, reconnaissance, data gathering, imaging, and aerial combat with a payload of smart weapons. This brings us to the end of this section. It's now time to get back to our main narrative. Please stay tuned. Iran's achievements in designing and producing hypersonic missiles may be the most important news in the missile field in recent years and the worst news for enemy defense systems. On August 31, 2016, Ayatollah Khamenei, who is also commander-in-chief of the Iranian armed forces, said that in a world where bullying and hegemonic powers devoid of the slightest essence of morality, conscience, and humanity are ruling and do not shy away from invading countries and killing innocent people, development of defensive and offensive industries is totally natural, because as long as these countries do not feel our authority, our security will not be guaranteed.
یک ملت برای اینکه نتوانند بیان بالا سرش او رو بکوبند احتیاج داره به قدرت دفاعی، احتیاج داره به قدرت نظامی. باید اقتدار او رو احساس کنند تا او تهدید نشه، تا او بتوانه امنیتش رو حفظ کنه. هم قدرت دفاعی هم قدرت تهاجمی برای ما لازمه، باید داشته باشیم برای اینکه بتونیم کشور رو، ملت رو، مردممون رو، آیندهمون رو، تاریخمون رو تأمین کنیم، امنیت براش ایجاد کنیم. این فلسفه دنبالگیری اینی که ما رو مسائل صنایع دفاعی، رو مسائل وزارت دفاع، روی پیشرفت کارهای گوناگون صنعتی تکیه میکنیم و تأکید میکنیم اینه.
Accordingly, the Iranians see their missile force as an integral and indispensable part of their national defense strategy, fulfilling key strike roles traditionally taken by manned aircraft, but beyond the capabilities of an Iranian air force that needs modernization. The missile program serves key Iranian goals, deterring attacks against Iran and providing war-fighting capabilities if deterrence fails.
The fact is that Iran suffered a lot of damage from enemy missiles during Saddam's attack on Iran. And at the same time, a special investment was made to strengthen missile technology. Iran took serious steps both in the production of offensive missiles and in the production of anti-missile defenses. As a result of those efforts, today Iran has become self-sufficient in this field by producing anti-missile systems, such as Bavar 373, and also transfers its technology and knowledge to its friendly countries. Iranian-made missiles come in various models and ranges, including Sejil, Khorramshahr or Qahir, and many others. Iran's missiles have different capabilities and functions and work with liquid or solid fuel and have ballistic and cruise types.
Fattah's high speed, equivalent to 13 Mach, makes it very difficult for anti-missile defense systems to intercept it effectively. However, speed is not the only important component of hypersonic missiles. More importantly, their trajectory with guidance and control to reach their target and evade enemy defense systems with high maneuverability is crucial.
Whenever Iran has been in a position of power, it has been successful. For example, if you have high enrichment, you will have more power in negotiations. If you have high military power, again you can get more concession in negotiations. Or for example, if you have foreign policy and high influence, this also brings good results. Now Iran has been successful in all these areas and other fields, but the West is trying to take these from Iran, drag it to the negotiating table and get more concessions. For example, we would like to reduce the influence of Iran in the region. In my opinion, one of the effects of increasing military power along with increasing security is that when Iranian diplomats sit at the negotiating table, they feel more empowered.
Iran's missile chief Brigadier General Hajizadeh claims that no existing missile defense system is capable of intercepting and beating the newest Iranian projectile. It will be decades, he noted in November, before any such shield is introduced. Though Israel has a multi-layered air defense umbrella including the Iron Dome, Arrow 2, Arrow 3, David Sling, and the still-in-development Iron Beam laser system, there is still no system that can intercept hypersonic missiles, according to experts.
A nation which is alive reacts to threats. It is quite normal. Only a dead nation can remain silent and do nothing in the face of threats. Therefore, the threats of Iran's enemies motivated Iran to reach a point where they admit that Iran is the fourth country that has such a powerful missile. Right now, the Zionist regime is threatening Iran. We must have the required means to defend ourselves. After the unveiling of this hypersonic missile, the Zionist regime, the US and Europe admitted it is no longer possible to repel Iran's attacks.
Fattah's announcement has apparently heightened Western concerns about Iran's missile capabilities. In this regard, Iranian officials have stated that countries like Australia, the US, and the UK have a well-documented history of disregarding their international obligations across various domains, including nuclear tests and non-proliferation of nuclear missiles, while also playing a disruptive role in global and regional affairs. Therefore, they are in no position to comment on Iran's legitimate and entirely lawful defense capabilities, stressing that the missile activities conducted by the Islamic Republic are conventional, defensive, and fully in line with international law. Iran's military strategy in terms of its focus on deterrence is unlikely to change considerably in the near future, but the country has taken steps towards developing a limited expeditionary capability. Tehran will also improve its conventional forces in seeking new capabilities. Iran's current modernization plans emphasize a broader range of conventional capabilities than in the past. Most likely, the Islamic Republic will continue to focus on the domestic development of increasingly capable missiles, naval platforms and weapons, and air defenses while it attempts to upgrade some of its deteriorating air and ground capabilities primarily through foreign purchases. Moreover, the most recent open-source analysis of Iran's defensive capabilities indicates that the country has spent years honing its assets and expertise in asymmetric warfare to strike against better armed, better funded opponents. In that regard, it is thought to have thousands of missiles of over a dozen different types. Iran currently utilizes roughly 20 different ballistic missiles. The exact number depends on how variants are counted, as well as cruise missiles and UAVs. And for now, Iran's priority is to improve precision, notably in several missile systems. This emphasis on precision is displayed most clearly in the Fateh family of short-range ballistic missiles. The remarkable rolling out of 3 new Fateh variants, Zulfaqar, Desfoon, and Haj Qasem, in just the past 4 years shows a significant developmental emphasis.
The investment made in Iran in the military field is much lower than in other countries and cannot be compared at all. In fact, one of the main reasons for Iran's investment in the field of missile industry is that at a very low cost, a weapon can be made that can destroy military equipment that has been produced with huge costs. On the other hand, Iran is under sanctions. It is not allowed to buy military equipment at all. But if it were, I assure you that the production of missiles is much more economical than purchasing them from other countries. In addition, today we also export military equipment, which means that it is also beneficial in terms of bringing foreign currency inside.
Iran is also strengthening its integrated air defense systems through domestic production as well as foreign acquisition. Iran is fielding more capable domestically developed surface-to-air missiles and radar systems, and a few years ago acquired the Russian Sa-20C air defense system, which provided Iran with the capability to defend itself against a modern air force. Also in the cyber domain, Tehran views cyberspace operations as a safe, low-cost method to collect information and retaliate against perceived threats, and the establishment is continuing to improve its cyber capabilities. That's all for today. Thank you for watching from the whole team. Please do tune in same time next week and each week after. Don't forget to leave your comments and topic requests. Till next time, take care.